Okay, so welcome back. Whilst the gym's getting hoovered, sorry if you can hear that in the background. Today is a full day of pretty much comp prep, and we've got a little bit of everything. So we've got some complex work, so we've got our weightlifting, we've got some strength maintenance work, and then we've got some comp style, it's called desaturation training, which sounds really scary, but it's basically trying to do competition movements under fatigue and get the body used to that. So I'll take you through all of that. I've got to warm up properly because it's been a long week of training. It is a Saturday and everything is tight. So glutes, hamstrings, quads, they all need some work. Shoulders need some work and love and attention. It's been a week, let's just say that. Definitely ramped up the intensity this week. Everything's definitely up a level. We are 3 weeks out until I need to travel. So yeah, it's just starting to feel like proper competition prep. So it's that time now with comp prep where there's not so much strength stuff. It is more about kind of applying all of the stuff and applying all of the strength and the skills that you have accumulated in training before, and now trying to put it under some intensity, put it under some fatigue, and get you prepped for that kind of level of exposure when it comes to a competition. All right, so the first part, we've got some complex work. So basically what we want to do is practice moving the bar in slightly different ways, moving from like one movement to the other, because quite often you'll see complexes in a competition, and if, like me, you've been doing a lot of strength work, then you won't have been doing too many complexes. So now's kind of the time to practice how I'm going to move from a hang clean into a jerk, or how I'm going to move a touch and go snatch like I am today. And then with competition prep, you can start to think about the little things. So I'm going to lift in rads today. I don't normally lift in rads. I'll normally lift in my flat TYRs, but I may come into a workout where I prefer to wear my rads for the first part. Maybe it's like box jumps or something like that, and then I have to lift, and I'm not going to have time to change the shoes. So just by spending a session today working in rads and just getting used to that, if I need to in the comp, I know that I've done it before, and it just takes a little bit of anxiety away. So that's where these sessions now are important, because we can use them to fine tune and test little things and make sure that all, or as many possibilities are covered, and we've done it in training so that when it comes to competition day, we're set. So the complexes we've got a snatch one, and we've got a clean and jerk one. We're not maxing out today. We're not going to go for like an absolute max. It's just practicing at a decent weight. And like I say, just getting used to moving that bar. So we've got 2 touch and go snatches into an overhead squat, and then 2 hang cleans into a jerk. Okay then, going into these complexes, I didn't really have any expectations, because I haven't done, like I said, like I've mentioned, I haven't done any complexes in a long time. So these touch and go snatches were new. It's been a while since I've done them, and getting that movement from the first rep to the second took a bit of getting used to, but we ended up with kind of a mini PB, so I hit 175 pounds, and I'm happy with that, and I think there's definitely more in the tank. If it had been a max out, then I definitely would have gone heavier to like a 185, 195, pushing 200 pounds, so that's a massive win for me, kind of going into that competition knowing that I've got that in the locker. The cleans felt a lot heavier today. I tried to make the third rep a squat clean, again just to practice, just in case I needed to drop under the bar with some tired legs or something like that when it came to a competition. And the jerks then, when it got to my max weight, which was 205 for today, couldn't touch and go the jerks. It definitely needed to have a little rest in between, but happy with how it felt, happy with how the overall complex felt, and knowing that I've got more in the tank on both of these lifts was A, exactly what I needed from this session, but B, it just gives me a little bit of a confidence boost as we get closer, that when it comes to the day with a bit of adrenaline, then I'm going to be able to really push these weights. Okay, so complex done. That was kind of the skill piece. So practicing a skill for competition, getting used to moving the bar in a slightly different way. Snatches felt really good, actually. I thought they were going to be quite wobbly, but ended up PBing my double, which is always good, and it still felt like I had plenty more in the tank. So happy with that. Cleans were good, they were hard, but happy again with how they moved. So now going into like the strength piece. Strength isn't the primary focus at the moment because it's now competition prep. This is about trying to maintain as much strength as possible from the previous blocks that I've done, so that after this competition cycle, when we go back into like off season and strength gain, we've still got good numbers. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bench deadlift. As the reps go down, the weight goes up. So just seeing what we can hit today for those numbers. We're not maxing out until the end, but it's about how I'm feeling today. It's not about like trying to hit certain percentages or going for those top end weights. So yeah, gonna work through this one now, and then we're into the tough competition style piece after this. So not the most exciting bit, and it's definitely not a personal favorite of mine to do all of this strength work, but I know we need to keep it up and we need to keep that strength topped up. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the reps go down and the weight go up, the weight goes up, and it's just a way of kind of keeping those big compound lifts in training, keeping those numbers up, whilst everything else in the intensity and all of the other stuff is more kind of comp focused. Wasn't able to hit anywhere near like my PBs on these lifts today. This was just about getting whatever numbers I could today after a solid week of training, and just making sure that the strength is still there and it's still in the tank for after this competition kind of prep. All right, so strength piece done. I could have gone heavier. Definitely not on the last two singles, but that's not what it's about. Not with kind of just maintaining what we've got. So just going into desaturation. So this is going to be the tough part. So how it works, we've got 1:20 on the row, and that's at a certain pace. So that's going to be at my 2K pace, which is about 147. So not a max out for 120, but still pushing the pace a little bit. It's like trying to imagine you've got to do a minute and a half's work in a competition, and you need to go at a good pace to kind of keep up with everyone else or get yourself ahead. And then going straight into wall balls, box jump overs, and dual dumbbell snatches. So we're coming straight from having that fatigue on the rower, going straight into 24 wall balls, which will be a challenging number to maintain unbroken. 18 box jump overs, which is going to be difficult on some already very tired legs. And then we want to move straight into 6 snatches and move with speed when we get to the snatches. So that's what this is about, trying to work on competition movements whilst under fatigue and get used to moving straight from one to the other and just pushing past a little bit more of capacity each time. So that's what the intention is behind this piece. So now I guess all we got to do, warm up and yeah, get into it. Okay then, desaturation piece. This actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. Everything felt pretty good. The row is definitely a strength of mine, so holding that pace for 120 was straightforward enough, and I was able to walk straight up to the wall balls and get into a set of those and keep those unbroken, which is a little mini win for me. Something that I did in this session, again, talking about those little things when it comes to competitions and being prepared for them, is I laid out all the equipment in a different spot so that I had to walk from one to the other, trying to again simulate that kind of competition style where you're going to have different pieces of equipment in different areas and you're going to have to walk from one to the other. Obviously every competition is different, but you're not likely going to have them laid out in a straightforward line, one step away from each other. So little things like that, and I tried to make sure that I could do that today. And then during that walk between movements, I was trying to catch my breath. I was counting down to 5 in my head. So again, I could just pick up the wall ball or get straight onto the box or pick up the dumbbells, and I could get my set done. So what I was really happy about with this one was everything remained unbroken the whole time through. So all of the wall balls, all of the box jumps, and all of the dumbbells stayed unbroken, and my set times were 3:19, 3:09, and 3:3. So it got quicker as we went through, as again I developed that awareness of each movement and my capacities went through, which is exactly what this kind of piece is designed for, going into competition and kind of understanding your own strengths and weaknesses. Now, unfortunately, my audio got corrupted on this last clip, so you're going to have to listen to me talking over a clip of me talking into the mic. But basically, I was just summarizing what we did in the session. So having those three components is a really good way to create and program your own sessions if we're going into competition. So you've got that complex element where we're practicing moving the bar in a different way as if you're in a comp setting. You've got the strength maintenance, trying to maintain all the strength that you've put up and you've gained in your last few blocks. And then you've got that desaturation piece, which is just teaching you more and more about your own capacity so that when you go into a workout, you are as prepared as you possibly can be and you know what strategies to take in each workout. So I hope that all made sense. If you have a competition coming up or you have any questions about this video, please drop them in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and I will catch you in the next video.